Hello everyone and welcome back to round 7 of season 2 of the F1 24 My Team career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix at Imola. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live last week from Miami, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. I apologise, this video was actually going to go out over the weekend, but I was helping my sister move house, so didn't really get a chance to record it. But yeah, we're back today with more of this series, of course, having a lot of fun with it. You know, obviously we've got co-op alongside it, and hopefully the Williams Road to Glory from time to time. But yeah, this of course is still, I would say, the main series on this channel at the moment. And well, we've got a lot of work that we need to do over the coming videos as well there. You can currently see in the Drivers' Championship we are still in 10th place with half the points of George Russell and Lando Norris ahead of us. Lewis Hamilton leading the way in the other Mercedes car there with a 26-point gap over Charles Leclerc. Verstappen, Alonso, there's plenty of different drivers in the fight at the top of the table, and it is certainly exciting to see as well. 6th overall in the Constructors' Championship. We're basically beating all the teams we should be, and then losing to all of the teams that you would probably expect us to be losing to right now. So yeah, as we return to Imola though this weekend, this has often been a good track for us in the past. I'd love to try and get a good weekend under our belt. I quickly as well, a massive thank you to everybody for 4,000 subscribers on the channel. The next goal of course has got to be 5k. So yeah, if you're not already, please do make sure you get yourself subbed. And let's do this thing.
Welcome to the circuit named for Ferrari. It is qualifying at a special arena for motorsport. Welcome to Imola.
Well, Imola weirdly has been quite a good track for us so far inside F1 24. It's a circuit that I really do love racing at as well. But yeah, ultimately we've had some really good races here. I remember last season in this series, I think we basically followed Max Verstappen from the back of the field up to the points, and then overtook him on the very last lap. Now, obviously, yeah, the AI are much better with their ERS now, so I don't think that's quite going to be possible. But I would love to obviously try and continue on the good run of qualifying form that we saw last time out in Miami. But of course, yeah, this circuit, the home of Ferrari, Leclerc and Sainz will be looking to try and deliver big results for that team as well. But we could get ourselves up towards the top 10 again. I'd be quite happy. Really want to try and get into a rhythm of scoring points regularly inside this series. The car, although in terms of performance doesn't look that great, it is a fantastic all-rounder. It's got no real weak points, I find, still inside this game. So it really is actually quite fun to drag everything out of. So we've almost finished off our first lap here in qualifying. Top times are already down in the mid-13s. What are we going to be able to do to try and thread the car through those final couple of corners? Use the battery on the exit the final turn. It is going to be a 1:14.0. We go between Tsunoda, who's done a fantastic job, and Fernando Alonso. Getting ready then for our second lap. We've just been relegated outside the top 10, but the pressure is on for a number of drivers, most notably Lewis Hamilton, who is only down in 12th place right now after the first run. So the current World Championship leader here will need to get a good second time on the board if he wants to try and hold on to the lead that he's built up in the opening few rounds of the campaign. 26 points the gap he's got over Charles Leclerc, who currently is P2, not only in the title, but also provisionally on the grid. But everybody else then coming to the end of their qualifying laps. Hamilton, Pourchaire, that is improving up into P13. Hamilton is still just behind us right now.
Pushed down to P11.
There we go, the Mercedes driver has improved up the order. Don't quite know where, but it certainly wasn't fastest there. It's our big mistake up the top of the hill. Any time we found so far on the lap is going to basically be evaporated to try and get a nice run through the exit of Aqua Minerale. Half a tenth down right now. Once again, making our way through these tricky final couple of 90-degree left-handers. You really got to throw the car in through the second one. Allow it to run wide on the exit up towards the line. What is the time going to be? We don't even improve. We stay P12. Well, the track seemed to fall away for pretty much everybody there come the end of qualifying, but it is Lando Norris who will line up on pole by just 6 thousandths of a second over Charles Leclerc. Red Bull lock out the second row there with Verstappen in P3. But yeah, championship leader Lewis Hamilton only good enough for P10 on the grid. So slowest of those big 5 teams. Tsunoda and I look like we'll be trying to pick up the pieces wherever possible, as Yuma Iwasa once again lines up last.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation will be a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Mr. Monaco, Albon, Ocon, Teo Porcher, Ricciardo, Joe, Bottas, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Ayumu Iwasa. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
If we want to achieve a points finish like last race, you're going to need to push for positions early on. Let's go for it. Good luck.
Well, Mark clearly is telling me to get my elbows out here early on in the GP, and we have got to be careful towards the end of the afternoon as well. Rain might be on the way if we get a red flag or something like that, or if it's just a much slower race, you know, safety cars, all that kind of thing. So yeah, we're going to have to keep one eye on the sky as we go through the afternoon. Leclerc and Iwasa both taking grid penalties today. Leclerc, therefore, will only start down in P7. Iwasa is starting exactly where he was. I would love to see our teammate qualify not last at some point in the next few races. But waiting then on the grid for those 5 red lights here in Imola. It is going to be lights out and away we don't go there. Everyone in front of me getting a clean start. The same can be said for Albon and Esteban Ocon there, but we went absolutely nowhere on the run down towards turn 1. And now Teo Porcher as well. Oh, I was not actually intending on diving at the inside of Alex Albon there. We have contact with Zhou Guanyu, contact with Esteban Ocon on the exit of the corner as well.
Just watch out for it.
Yeah, that all got very, very tight down at the first corner there as everyone kind of pinched in, trying to find their own space as well, trying to look back down the inside of Teo Porcher then into Tosa. First time this season we've really seen him get the better of Nico Hulkenberg, so exciting times ahead for Formula One's newest driver. And clearly he's getting a bit more confident as well behind the wheel. A mean block there thrown at the top of the hill. It's going to leave us a bit more vulnerable to Zhou. But yeah, not the ideal start then to the race we would have wanted here. That dropped backwards a lot more than I was ever hoping we would. Can we have a look down the inside of Teo again? Yes, we can. He can go for the aggression with me. I will repeat in kind. Lando Norris not able to utilise his pole position start. Max Verstappen immediately has moved up into the lead of the GP. Really tough start to the year for the Dutchman, but yeah, seems to be recovering it pretty well early on, as both Red Bulls seem to be flying around this venue very early on in the day. Sainz now trying to make the move on the Brit as well.
Body's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment. Just be careful.
Have got to be careful of the underfloor on this game, especially over those sausage curves that this track is notorious for. But yeah, really struggling to make an impact, but we've got the pace over Zhou and Porcher behind. I think it's really only Yuki Tsunoda that's able to keep up with these front runners at the moment. As Ocon almost into the wall there down the pit straight as Alex Albon tried to give him as narrow a run as he possibly could there. Power move though by the Frenchman to claim the place down at turn 1, and we're just going to sit back and watch, but not for very long. There's a tiny bit of contact on the exit. Albon, I think they really wanted to try and cut me off, but round the outside through the Gilles Villeneuve chicane and finally will make the move happen, and up then into unlucky P13. But yeah, Tsunoda seems to be the one kind of midfielder that's able to keep up with the top 10 early on. We're just really getting scrappy early in this race. Lots of little mistakes there, just struggling with the balance of the car. I need to race this car more often in this series, because I'm far too used to my absolutely glorious Ferrari. Here we go then, trying to get a run on Esteban Ocon. Can we go 2 for 2? The DRS is so OP around this circuit where it is such a long zone. Around the outside of Esteban will go there just so I keep the wheels between the white lines. A little bit ragged again through T1. But yeah, back up then to where we started in this Grand Prix. Tsunoda 2.6 seconds in front. I think if we could just settle down, just get a few clean, tidy laps under our belt, maybe we've got the pace. We've got yellows. Who's got issues? I think that might be a car in front, but I'm not too sure who it is. Oh, really struggling with the rear locking still slightly. I think that's Lance Stroll, the Canadian, out then of the Grand Prix, and our first casualty of the afternoon. Doesn't look like we're going to get a safety car or anything for it, which is a little bit of a shame. But what that does do is provide us with an opportunity here. Tsunoda and Hamilton forced away from the rest of that group. And ultimately, yeah, we just haven't had the pace against them because they've all been able to drag each other along. As we can see Tsunoda now trying to make the move on Lewis down towards turn 1. Not able to make it happen that time. But these two could really start tripping each other up and present us with an opportunity. Well, back in 2022, Yuki Tsunoda was probably Hamilton's biggest problem at this circuit. They just followed each other throughout pretty much the entirety of the race. Looks like we're kind of seeing the roles reversed this weekend. Tsunoda seemingly not able to get past Lewis Hamilton. I, though, am just dragging Albon and Ocon along at the moment. Rather frustrating. I was hoping I could shake Ocon out of the DRS window, but he's just able to hang there. Oh, here we go. This time around, Yuki Tsunoda. We got a little bit of a further back view from this one. We can still see what's going on, as now Yuki Tsunoda will make the move on Lewis Hamilton then. So I don't think our title leader would have been hoping he'd be battling V-Carbs today. As Charles Leclerc as well has done a really good job carving his way back through the order further up. Now sights to the lead of the Grand Prix, so Verstappen, he's not had it easy since he got that lead on lap 1. Well, Imola as well is always a horrible circuit in this game.
Next time. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.5 seconds.
Mark clearly doesn't want me to get a word in edgeways right now, but yeah, it's always one of those horrible ones where the medium hard just doesn't feel like a particularly aggressive strategy. It can be really, really difficult to get the softs far enough. I'm tempted to try and go long on these mediums and just kind of see what we can do, and then maybe go softs at the end if we could get these to like lap 20. I just want to do something different against the AI that maybe gives us a chance. Meanwhile, Ocon now has dropped out of the range, and it looks like him and Albon are tripping over each other. Well, the team want me in then at the end of this lap, but like I said, I want to try and extend this stint a little bit further. How well are the tyres looking at the moment? Let's have a look through the final couple of turns. Oh no, we won't be able to get them as far as we want. We'll take it now. We will box into the pit lane. Oh, for some reason I thought this pit lane was 37. But apparently not the case then, as Verstappen, Hamilton, everybody else trying not to get held up in their boxes. It is a very, very busy pit lane here. But luckily being right down the far end, hopefully it's not going to leave us with too many problems.
Go, come on! That was a fantastic stop, faster than we were expecting.
Not a bad pit stop for us there, as yeah, Yumu's still in last place in this Grand Prix, so I think Yuki might have dropped away from Lewis Hamilton a bit, which is good.
Race on this compound.
Maybe we can try and attack Yuki in the second half of this Grand Prix a bit more, or will he just get back to the Merc? There we go, pretty much every other car then into the pit lane. I wish there was a bit more variety in the pit stop cycle inside this game.
4.5 seconds.
That's definitely not correct. We're trading the car in front by less than 2 seconds here, as Iwasa definitely now does not have the pace to go quicker than Lewis Hamilton. So it could be a battle between myself and Yuki towards the end of the afternoon. Conflicting emotions, of course. He's the one scoring all my points in the F1 manager career. We know we always feel stronger on the harder tyres inside this game, so Tsunoda now starting to feel the pressure, but they're all backing up in front of him as new fastest lap.
So far.
No idea how we just managed that, but we are flying right now on this second set of tyres, as we'll try and apply more pressure to Yuki then through turn 1 and turn 2. You can see though, yeah, everybody in front, apart from I think that's Lando Norris, who's been given a bit of a lifeline back at the front of the field. It is 2nd through 9th are all in a train. Well, we have to be strategic in the way we go for this, because we need to get past Yuki, but also then make sure we get inside the range of those cars in front. So we're just going to try and use every little bit of power this car's got in it at the moment to the outside of the V-Carb. Try and get fully around him, which we just about will. I think Tsunoda wanted to try and hang the car down the inside. There is a little wobble off the curb.
Brings you up a place.
1.5 seconds though behind Lewis. We've got to try and get in that DRS range. But for the first time this afternoon, we are inside the top 10. Well, I know they've tried to fix it inside this game, but Imola is easily still one of the worst circuits for just trains forming up. But today, it has worked out to our favour there. We are now inside the range of Lewis Hamilton in front. Tsunoda just about going to hang on to the range behind myself for the DRS. But yeah, unless your name's Lando Norris, it is still looking rather tricky towards the end of the afternoon. The problem I've got now is I'm not really sure how we're going to be able to make much of an impact. Everyone, of course, has just got the same advantage as each other.
23.6 seconds.
Red Bull at the front of this group seem to be in formation right now, just not letting anybody else have a look in. Well, let's just try and test the waters then now. We've got a little bit of battery saved up in the pack. Oh, horrible run out the final corner. Immediately that hope is going to be gone, as Perez as well takes my fastest lap bonus point away pretty much at the same time.
After the tyres, we won't be making another pit stop.
Tell you what, yeah, that Mercedes isn't the fastest car in a straight line. I think if we've got a pretty good charge and we get a decent run out that final corner, we might be able to start making moves there. As look at this Red Bull side by side at the front of this group, almost into the back of Hamilton as they all concertina up. This is the problem with F1 24. The AI are just... I mean, this is not how Formula 1 looks. Well, you're going to have to really make sure you're careful with your front wing towards the end of the afternoon here, because so far, it really does feel like there's just going to be a cork in the bottle, and at some point things are going to go sour here. We're going to try and get a run though on Lewis Hamilton in that Mercedes. To the outside we'll go. It'll turn to the inside ready for turn 1, and look at that, we have got the straight line speed to compete. Hamilton there will try and go the long way around, but we'll have the inside line and we'll just slowly cut him out through the first corner, up into 9th place then of this race. We've got to be methodical, but we have got a good car. Oh, again, I can see AI side by side down towards turn 1. I think it is Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez now are the ones duking it out for P2 in this race. I mean, Lando Norris, he'll have no idea what's going on behind him, except for he's just building up a ridiculous lead at this stage of the afternoon. But yeah, if we can get past Lewis Hamilton, surely I can try and get past George Russell as well. We might even be able to get past George Russell at a bit of a different spot there down the inside into the chicane. I think the AI are getting so worried about running into the back of each other that they're just trying to space out a little bit more through there. And now, I'm into P8 then, so we're still showcasing that we're one of the only ones in this group that's able to make their way through. And see there, again, Leclerc trying to get a good run on Sergio Perez at that final corner. That was the straight line speed in the McLaren car then of Oscar Piastri. Slightly better than the Mercs, but not fantastic there as well. Oscar wise to the run I was trying to get. We had to swing it to the outside there, but Alonso breaks early. How on earth have we done that? Around the outside of 2 of them down at turn 1. And suddenly now we're up at a P6 then of this Grand Prix. I think Alonso trying to cover off from Oscar Piastri completely trips them both up. Well, if you told me once again that we'd be battling with Red Bull and Ferrari here, I don't think I ever would have believed you. But yeah, having a really good race out of it so far. First half was a little bit slow, but yeah, ever since we moved over to these hard tyres, we have been absolutely flying along. I guess now, though, it's more just a question of hoping that Red Bull and Ferrari trip each other over, and maybe we can be in the right place at the right time to capitalise. I do wish as well the AI were a little bit smarter. You know, sometimes they try and really use battery, or other times they look to try and defend from you as well. There's Sainz. Can't really do a lot down towards turn 1. Still going to be on the inside there as well. We just nick a wheel out on the grass, but we'll get round him there. Keep all 4 wheels inside the white line.
Nice overtake.
Leclerc able to make the overtake as well further up, so doing himself some favours in the championship. Lando Norris, yeah, I mean, he has absolutely won this one. But are the Red Bulls now going to be able to double tag the Ferrari as his teammate is stuck behind me? Well, 3 laps to go then of this Grand Prix, and it really does feel like the pressure cooker is continuing to ramp up here, as we've actually weirdly got a run on Verstappen down the hill. Try and force him offline a little bit there as all the Dutchman just sits perfectly on the apex through that penultimate corner. We'll try and get a run on him out of the final turn though, and maybe look to disrupt his run back down towards turn 1 there. And there was Perez Going to try and do the same thing to Charles Leclerc. Are we going to be able to get around the outside? Sergio is going to give me a cheeky little slipstream there as Verstappen tries to hang on. What a contact as Leclerc. I wasn't expecting him to swoop back in towards that line as early as he did. And he will do, but with less than 3 laps to go, just like we did last year, we've made a move on Max Verstappen. Well, are we going to see Leclerc try and get a run then again on Sergio Perez, or is he just going to play the patience game and maybe try and sit in behind and wait to go for a run on the very last lap of the Grand Prix? We can see he's trying to go for it there as Perez doing everything he can to try and defend it, but he hasn't got the straight line speed, and Perez will drop back down to P3, but he'll have one more chance into the final lap of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It looks like it's going to be McLaren, Ferrari and Red Bull on the podium, but in what order? Well, really a plan of attack then begins here at the final chicane. Try and just tip the car over the curbs nice and tidy. Make sure you keep it inside the white lines on the exit of the corner. But as you make your way down the hill, that's where the DRS detection point is. You're going to brake at the 100 meter board, third gear, tip the car in. Take plenty of curb through the first part, clean and tidy through the second to make sure you get that run to start the last lap of the Grand Prix there. And look at that, we've actually got a run on Sergio Perez this time round. Who is Leclerc going to try and help out? Are we going to get a little bit boxed in? And we'll go down the outside of one, down the outside of the other there. Leclerc will try and defend. We run a little bit wide though as we get over the curbs there. Perez and Leclerc still battling behind me. Are we going to see either of them get a run up in towards turn 4? No, they're not. And suddenly, out of nowhere, we are going to be into P2 of this Grand Prix. Leclerc goes round the outside of Sergio Perez there through the Gilles Villeneuve chicane. But we have shocked both of them with the straight line speed of our car there. And now up into P2 of the Grand Prix. We have really just sliced our way through the pack in the second half of this race. And once again, the car, nothing special on a set of the medium compounded tyres, but it works these hards nicely. It really does allow you to carry confidence and speed right the way throughout a stint there. As into the final couple of corners he goes. Lando Norris, he is going to be back on the top step of a Formula 1 podium as well here. Leclerc might actually be able to get a run on me down in towards the final couple of corners, but thinks better of it. Lando and McLaren back on top. I'm going to run deep though. Oh, are we going to be vulnerable to Leclerc through the final corner? We've got to put the power down. Round the outside we'll go. We'll just hang on. It is P2.
Lando Norris has done it! Lando Norris takes the checkered flag!
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight.
Well, there we are then. Lando Norris by over 10 seconds come the checkered flag. He is going to be your Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix winner there. I didn't realise Perez actually out-dragged Leclerc to the line as well. So having a look down the inside of myself actually cost Charles Leclerc a podium here at one of Ferrari's home Grand Prix. He was still between the Red Bulls, and he still was able to take points out of Lewis Hamilton, but really not the end of the race he would have wanted there. Sainz in 6th ahead of Alonso and Piastri, with both Mercs rounding out your top 10. And that means in terms of the championship, well, Hamilton's still with a 15-point lead there. Verstappen's still in P3, ahead of now Norris, Alonso and Sergio Perez there. So you can really make the argument the top 7 at this early stage of the campaign in that title fight. We made huge gains on Russell as well. Now just 11 points back behind the second of the Mercedes drivers, and constructors-wise as well, continuing to open up the lead over Alpine. I think if we absolutely nailed it, maybe, just maybe, we could try and fight Aston Martin this year, but Alonso is looking very, very racy as well. There are 2 points in it between Ferrari and Mercedes, but it is the team in red that take the lead of the championship here as well. 31 points covering your top 4. This season, I genuinely think might end up being one of the best we ever have inside F1 24 in terms of just the overall championship fight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourselves subscribed, and we'll be back very soon when Formula 1 returns ready for the Monaco Grand Prix.